Do you start your day with a warm bowl of oatmeal, thinking it's one of the healthiest things you can eat? Many of us do. It's comforting, familiar, and we've been told for years it's good for our hearts and keeps us full. And it absolutely can be a powerhouse of nutrition. But here's something surprising: many people don't realize even this humble, healthy grain can turn into something that works against you, even causing uncomfortable issues like bloating, energy crashes, or simply not giving you the health benefits you expect. It's a painful reality that sometimes the very things we add to make our food tastier or more convenient are actually undermining its goodness. Imagine starting your day with something you believe is healthy, only for it to contribute to that sluggish feeling later on. Or worse, mess with your blood sugar or digestion without you even knowing why. There's a secret hiding in plain sight, often right there on our kitchen counters. It's not the oatmeal itself, but what we mix it with. In this video, we're going to uncover 7 common foods that, when combined with oatmeal, can turn this healthy meal into something far less beneficial, sometimes even causing problems for your body, especially as we get a little older. We'll look at simple swaps and changes you can make to ensure your oatmeal is truly serving your health. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you about a very common breakfast habit. Let's start with the first culprits that can sabotage your perfectly good bowl of oats. The first one is something most of us have probably done at some point, perhaps even today, and that's adding too much added sugar. Now, I'm not talking about the natural sweetness from a few berries, but spoonfuls of white sugar, brown sugar, or even honey and maple syrup used in excess. We often add sugar out of habit, or because we grew up eating it that way, or because we're using those little flavored oatmeal packets which, frankly, are often loaded with the stuff. Oatmeal itself is a complex carbohydrate, meaning it breaks down slowly, providing sustained energy. It's great for keeping your blood sugar stable, avoiding those sharp spikes and crashes that leave you feeling drained and hungry again soon after. But when you dump a significant amount of added sugar into that bowl, you completely change the equation. You're essentially adding a fast-burning fuel source on top of a slow-burning one. Your body has to deal with that rush of sugar first. This can cause a rapid rise in blood sugar, followed by an inevitable crash. For people over 60, managing blood sugar is often even more important, as our bodies might not handle sugar as efficiently as they once did. Consistent blood sugar spikes can contribute to insulin resistance over time. And for those already managing diabetes or prediabetes, it's a significant concern. Beyond blood sugar, too much sugar can feed unhealthy gut bacteria, leading to digestive upset like bloating and gas, which is the exact opposite of what the fiber in oatmeal is trying to help with. It also contributes to inflammation throughout the body, which is linked to so many age-related issues, from joint pain to cognitive decline. Think about it. You're eating oatmeal for heart health and energy, but the added sugar could be counteracting those very benefits. A single tablespoon of sugar has about 12 grams, and it's easy to add 2 or 3. Those little packets of flavored oatmeal. Some contain more sugar than a serving of ice cream. It's a sneaky way sugar gets into our diet, turning a healthy breakfast into something closer to a dessert. Instead of relying on sheer sweetness, try enhancing the flavor of your oatmeal in other ways. Spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and cardamom add wonderful warmth and depth without a single gram of sugar. A sprinkle of these can make your oatmeal feel incredibly comforting and flavorful. Another excellent option is to use extracts, like vanilla or almond extract. Just a few drops can make a world of difference. And, of course, using fruit is key. A small handful of fresh or frozen berries, a sliced banana, or diced apple adds natural sweetness along with beneficial fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants. The natural sugars in fruit are delivered differently by the body because they come packaged with fiber, which slows their absorption. So, step number 1 to making your oatmeal truly work for you is to dramatically reduce or eliminate added sugars. Gradually cut back on the amount you add, or switch entirely to flavoring with spices and fruit. Your taste buds will adjust surprisingly quickly, and your body will thank you for it. Now, closely related to added sugar is the second food combination that can cause problems: artificial sweeteners. Many people turn to these as an alternative to sugar, thinking they're making a healthier choice. And while they don't add calories or typically cause the same immediate blood sugar spike as sugar, they come with their own set of potential issues, especially for our digestive systems. The research on artificial sweeteners is complex and sometimes contradictory, but there's growing concern about their impact on gut health. Our gut is home to trillions of bacteria, both good and bad, and the balance of this microbiome is crucial for everything from digestion and nutrient absorption to immune function and even mood. Some studies suggest that artificial sweeteners can alter the composition of gut bacteria, potentially reducing beneficial bacteria and increasing those that might contribute to problems. This imbalance can lead to digestive disturbances like bloating, gas, and even changes in bowel habits. Think about having a healthy bowl of fiber-rich oatmeal designed to promote smooth digestion, only to add something that might disrupt the delicate balance needed for that very process. It's counterproductive. Furthermore, while they don't contain sugar, artificial sweeteners are often hundreds of times sweeter than sugar, and regularly consuming them can actually maintain or even increase your craving for intensely sweet flavors. This can make it harder to appreciate the subtle, natural sweetness of foods like fruit and make it harder to stick to a lower sugar diet overall. Some artificial sweeteners, particularly sugar alcohols like sorbitol and xylitol, can have a laxative effect or cause significant gas and bloating in sensitive individuals, especially when consumed in larger amounts, which can happen if you're using packets to sweeten a whole bowl of oatmeal. So, while they might seem like a quick fix for sweetness without the sugar calories, they can introduce new problems and don't really help you break that craving for intense sweetness. What's a better approach? As we discussed with added sugar, leaning into natural flavors is key. Use spices like cinnamon, which even has some natural sweetness perceived by our taste buds. Vanilla extract works wonders. And rely on the natural sugars and flavors from whole fruits. Ripe bananas, cooked apples or pears, and berries offer sweetness along with all their beneficial nutrients and fiber. Dates or date paste are another option for adding concentrated natural sweetness, though it's still best to use them in moderation due to their sugar content. They also provide fiber and minerals. The goal is to retrain your palate to enjoy less intense sweetness overall, and relying on artificial versions keeps you on that high sweetness treadmill. Making the switch away from artificial sweeteners in your oatmeal is a positive step towards supporting your gut health and helping your taste buds appreciate the natural goodness of food. It's a simple change that can have surprisingly positive ripple effects on your digestion and overall well-being. Think of your oatmeal as a foundation, and what you add should build upon its health benefits, not chip away at them. Moving on from sugars and sweeteners, let's look at something else many people add for richness or flavor: cream or excessive amounts of butter. While a tiny dab of butter might be okay for some, loading your oatmeal up with heavy cream or multiple pats of butter can turn a heart-healthy, fiber-rich meal into a very high-fat one that can be hard to digest, especially for older adults whose digestive systems might be a little less robust. Oatmeal is fantastic for lowering cholesterol due to its soluble fiber, specifically beta-glucan. This fiber helps bind cholesterol in the digestive tract and escort it out of the body. But when you add significant amounts of saturated fat from cream or butter, you're simultaneously consuming something that can raise cholesterol levels. It's like taking one step forward and one step back. Digesting high amounts of fat requires a good deal of work from your digestive system, involving bile and enzymes. For some people, particularly as they age, producing sufficient amounts of these digestive aids can become less efficient. This can lead to symptoms like indigestion, bloating, nausea, or a heavy, uncomfortable feeling after eating. You might sit down to a bowl of oatmeal expecting something light and energizing, but end up feeling weighed down and sluggish. Furthermore, a very high-fat meal, even when combined with fiber, can still affect blood sugar control, sometimes causing a delayed but prolonged rise in blood sugar, which isn't ideal. While healthy fats in moderation are important, like those found in nuts or seeds added to oatmeal, saturated fats from dairy cream and butter should be limited, especially when added generously to a meal that is otherwise low in saturated fat. If you're looking for creaminess, there are much healthier ways to achieve it. Consider using a splash of unsweetened almond milk, soy milk, or oat milk. These provide liquid without the high saturated fat. Adding a tablespoon of chia seeds or ground flax seeds while the oatmeal cooks can also create a thicker, creamier texture as they absorb liquid. Plus, they add healthy omega-3 fats and more fiber. Even stirring in a little bit of mashed banana or some applesauce can make your oatmeal wonderfully creamy and naturally sweet. Plain Greek yogurt, check the sugar content, can add creaminess and protein after cooking, which can be a good option for some. Though dairy sensitivity is something to consider individually, the key is to move away from relying on high amounts of saturated animal fats for texture and flavor and explore plant-based options or strategies that enhance the natural creaminess of the oats themselves or add healthy unsaturated fats in moderation. Making this switch helps ensure your oatmeal remains truly heart-healthy and easier on your digestive system, leaving you feeling energized, not weighed down. Now that we've discussed added sugars, artificial sweeteners, and excessive unhealthy fats, let's move on to the fourth food combination that can turn your healthy oatmeal into a problematic meal: certain types of dried fruit, especially those with added sugar or sulfites. Dried fruit can seem like a healthy addition. It's fruit. After all, it adds sweetness and some fiber. However, the process of drying fruit concentrates the sugars significantly. A small handful of dried cranberries or raisins can contain as much sugar as several servings of fresh fruit, but without the water volume that helps fill you up. While this is natural sugar, the sheer concentration can still lead to a faster rise in blood sugar compared to eating the fresh version, especially when added generously to your oatmeal. The biggest issue, however, often comes with how dried fruit is processed. Many commercially available dried fruits, like cranberries, cherries, and even some apricots, have a significant amount of sugar added during the drying process to improve taste and texture. You might think you're adding fruit, but you're effectively adding another dose of concentrated sugar, similar to pouring spoonfuls from the sugar bowl. Always check the ingredient list on dried fruit packaging. If sugar or sweetened is listed, you're buying a sugary product masquerading as health food. These added sugars, combined with the concentrated natural sugars, create a double whammy for your blood sugar and can contribute to the same issues we discussed earlier: spikes, crashes, and potential negative impacts on metabolic health over time. Beyond sugar, some dried fruits, particularly lighter-colored ones like apricots and golden raisins, are treated with sulfites to preserve their color and extend shelf life. While generally recognized as safe for most people, sulfites can cause adverse reactions in sensitive individuals. These reactions can range from digestive issues like stomach cramps, bloating, and gas to headaches, hives, and even breathing difficulties in people with asthma. If you find that eating dried fruit gives you digestive discomfort, sulfites could be the culprit. Adding these to your daily oatmeal could be the source of unexplained tummy troubles. So, what's the healthier approach if you love dried fruit? Look for unsweetened or no added sugar varieties. Dates, unsweetened raisins, and unsweetened dried apricots are options. But remember, they are still very high in concentrated natural sugar, so use them sparingly. Think of them as a garnish, not a main ingredient. A much better alternative is to use fresh or frozen fruit, berries, sliced banana, diced apples, or peaches provide natural sweetness, more fiber, and more water, which makes them more filling and moderates the impact on blood sugar. They also contain more vitamins and antioxidants that can be diminished during the drying process. Adding a handful of fresh blueberries or a sliced strawberry to your oatmeal is a delicious way to add sweetness and nutrients without the concentrated sugar load or potential sulfite issues associated with many dried fruits. Making this simple swap helps keep your oatmeal lower in problematic sugars and ensures you're getting the maximum nutritional benefit from your fruit additions without the hidden downsides. Continuing our exploration of what not to mix with your oatmeal, let's turn our attention to the fifth item on our list: flavored yogurts. Many people add a dollop of yogurt to their oatmeal for creaminess and perceived health benefits, like probiotics, and plain, unsweetened yogurt can be a good addition, offering protein and calcium. However, flavored yogurts are often loaded with added sugar, artificial flavors, and thickeners, just like the flavored oatmeal packets or sweetened dried fruit. Flavored yogurt can turn a healthy bowl of oats into a sugar bomb. Some small containers of flavored yogurt can contain as much sugar as a candy bar. When you stir that into your oatmeal, you're adding a significant amount of fast-acting sugar, negating the benefit of the oatmeal's slow-release carbohydrates and fiber. This leads right back to those unwanted blood sugar spikes and crashes, energy slumps, and potential weight gain over time. Furthermore, the artificial flavors and colors found in many flavored yogurts offer absolutely no nutritional value, and some people are sensitive to these additives, potentially experiencing headaches or other reactions. Even yogurts marketed as low-fat or fat-free often compensate for the lack of fat by adding even more sugar to make them palatable. You might think you're choosing a healthier option by going low-fat, but you're inadvertently choosing one that's significantly higher in sugar. So, if you want to add yogurt to your oatmeal, the best approach is to use plain, unsweetened yogurt. If you find plain yogurt too tart, you can sweeten it yourself naturally with a tiny bit of honey or maple syrup used very sparingly. Or better yet, mix it with fresh fruit, adding a spoonful of plain Greek yogurt to your oatmeal and then topping it with fresh berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon gives you the creaminess, the protein boost, the probiotics, and the natural sweetness from the fruit, without all the hidden added sugar and artificial ingredients of a flavored yogurt. This way, you control exactly what goes into your bowl, ensuring your oatmeal remains the healthy, beneficial meal you intend it to be. It's a simple switch from flavored to plain. And it makes a world of difference in terms of the sugar content and overall nutritional quality of your breakfast. Our sixth problematic combination involves high sugar syrups. This includes things like corn syrup, rice syrup, golden syrup, or even excessive amounts of seemingly natural syrups like agave nectar. While maple syrup and honey were mentioned earlier under added sugars, these other syrups often contain different profiles of sugars like high fructose corn syrup derivatives and can be even more concentrated in simple sugars with very little nutritional value. People might add these for sweetness or a specific flavor, perhaps recreating childhood breakfasts. However, much like added sugar, they cause a rapid and significant spike in blood sugar. The body processes these refined syrups very quickly, leading to the familiar energy crash shortly after eating, unlike whole foods, which come packaged with fiber, vitamins, and minerals. These syrups offer little more than calories and sweetness. They contribute to systemic inflammation, can be detrimental to liver health when consumed regularly in significant amounts, and offer no satiety value, meaning you're likely to feel hungry sooner. Again, the excellent fiber in oatmeal is trying its best to slow digestion and promote stable energy, but pouring sugary syrup over it is essentially pouring gasoline on a slow-burning fire. It speeds everything up in a bad way. There's also the psychological aspect. Relying on intensely sweet syrups reinforces that preference for high levels of sweetness, making it harder to enjoy less sweet, more nutrient-dense foods. If you're craving that specific type of syrupy sweetness, try exploring alternatives. A compote made from cooked fruit like apples or berries with a tiny splash of lemon juice can create a lovely, naturally sweet topping with fiber. A swirl of a healthy nut butter like almond or peanut butter. Check for no added sugar can add flavor and richness without the sugar rush. You could even mash half a ripe banana into your oatmeal while it cooks for a naturally creamy, sweet texture. The goal is to get away from the habit of drenching your healthy oatmeal in refined, concentrated sugars that undermine its benefits and potentially harm your health in the long run. This is particularly important as managing blood sugar becomes more critical with age. Choosing whole food options or natural sweeteners used very sparingly allows your oatmeal to do its job, provide sustained energy, promote good digestion, and support heart health. Finally, the seventh combination that can turn your oatmeal toxic, or at least far less healthy, is adding it to high-sugar drinks instead of water or milk, while not a food mixed in the bowl. This is about how you prepare it. Some people might cook their oatmeal in juice, like apple or orange juice, or even instant coffee with added sugar and creamer, thinking it adds flavor. This is a surefire way to inject a massive amount of sugar right into your healthy fiber base. Fruit juices, even 100% juice, are concentrated sources of natural sugar, with most of the beneficial fiber removed during processing. Cooking your oatmeal in juice is essentially cooking it in sugar water. You lose the benefit of the oatmeal's ability to slowly release energy because the dominant ingredient you're cooking it in is a fast-acting sugar source. Similarly, using sweetened coffee drinks or creamers loaded with sugar or artificial ingredients introduces the same problems we've already discussed: blood sugar spikes, digestive issues, and the addition of unnecessary additives. Oatmeal is meant to be a clean, wholesome foundation for your meal. It works best when cooked in plain water or unsweetened milk, dairy or non-dairy. This allows the natural flavor of the oats to come through. And any additions you make, like fruit, nuts, or spices, can shine without being overshadowed by excessive sweetness or artificial flavors from the cooking liquid. If you want flavor, consider adding a cinnamon stick or a strip of orange peel to the water or milk while the oats cook, and then remove it before serving. You get a subtle, pleasant aroma and taste without adding any sugar. You can also stir in a bit of vanilla extract or almond extract after cooking. The point is to use a neutral or beneficial liquid base for cooking your oats. Using unsweetened milk adds a bit of protein and creaminess. Using water is perfectly fine and calorie-free. But cooking your oatmeal in a high-sugar beverage completely changes its nutritional profile for the worse. It takes something inherently healthy and turns it into a vehicle for excess sugar, undermining your health goals. So, check what you're using to cook your oats. Simple is best water or unsweetened milk. So, we've walked through 7 common additions that can take your healthy bowl of oatmeal and turn it into something that potentially works against your health goals, causing everything from blood sugar issues and digestive upset to inflammation. We talked about excessive added sugar, artificial sweeteners, loading it up with cream or butter, those sneaky sweetened dried fruits, flavored yogurts, high sugar syrups, and even cooking your oats in sugary drinks instead of water or unsweetened milk. The good news is that making changes is completely within your control. It's not about giving up oatmeal, which is a fantastic food. It's about making smarter choices about what you pair it with, instead of added sugars. Turn to natural sweetness from fresh or frozen fruits and warming spices like cinnamon. Ditch the artificial sweeteners and train your taste buds to appreciate less intense sweetness while supporting your gut health. Swap heavy cream and butter for healthier fats in moderation, like a sprinkle of nuts or seeds, or create creaminess with unsweetened plant-based milks or mashed fruit. Be mindful of dried fruits, choosing unsweetened varieties and using them sparingly. Or, better yet, opt for fresh fruit. Say goodbye to flavored yogurts and syrups, and embrace the versatility of plain yogurt and natural flavorings. And always cook your oatmeal in water or unsweetened milk. Remember, small, consistent changes truly do make a big difference to your health and happiness, especially as we get older. Paying attention to these common oatmeal additions is a simple yet powerful step you can take for better energy, more stable blood sugar, and improved digestion. It's about getting the maximum benefit from the healthy foods you choose to eat. Don't feel overwhelmed. Just pick one thing to change this week. Maybe it's cutting back on the amount of sugar you add, or switching from flavored to plain yogurt. Every little step counts. Your body is incredibly resilient and will thank you for these healthier choices. We'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed any digestive issues or energy changes after eating oatmeal with certain things? What are your favorite healthy ways to top your oatmeal? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could help others if you found this information helpful. Please give this video a thumbs up. It helps us know what kind of content you like and helps others find this important information. And be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos filled with practical tips for living your best life at every age. Keep nourishing your body with intention and enjoying delicious, truly healthy food. Live your best life at every age.